is not responsible for damage to property or person. Upon discovering that damage or death has occurred, a missing person report will be filed within 90 days or as soon as property and premises have been thoroughly cleaned and bleached and the carpets have been replaced. Blah, blah, blah. Now, that might sound bad, I know, but there's really nothing to worry about.
Hello? About 10 years ago, there was a man who made a little game. And I do mean a little game. Five Nights at Freddy's was created by indie developer Scott Cawthon. Developed in about 6 months using the Click Team Fusion 2.5 game engine, which is mainly used to make point-and-click games. And when it released, it became a huge hit. And why is that, you may ask? YouTubers! Yeah, in all honesty, I don't think Fnaf would have been so successful if it wasn't for the YouTubers. Hell, that's how I came across the game. I was discovering SCPs for the first time, and I saw Markiplier was playing Containment Breach, and while I was watching that, he uploaded the first episode of Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't know anyone, not even Scott, really knew that this game would have been such a massive hit, going as far as having like a movie at the end of this year. But let's face it, if it wasn't for the YouTubers and Let's Players, this probably wouldn't have been as successful. The game is really simple and downright primitive. You're stuck in one room looking at a monitor, and your main/only goal is to survive the full night without getting jump scared. Sure, the jump scares might be scary in the beginning, and they might still make you jump a few hours in, but jump scares are not scary, they're annoying. And the reason why most YouTubers probably kept playing after like the first few episodes is because of the views. So, why am I talking about it right now? Well,
it's just good business.
Now, this isn't a video on any of the FNAF games. In all honesty, I did want to talk about Security Breach and talk about how much that game kind of sucks and breaks the FNAF continuity, even in the game itself. But that's like, what, the 8th game in the franchise? Wait, they made how many games? So yeah, we got a long way to go from there. So let's just start at the beginning. And no, not FNAF 1. Again, this isn't really a review of the FNAF games, but the game that inspired FNAF 1. In 2013, Scott was working at the Dollar General and had previously made mostly Christian video games and animation.
I forgot you lived here. It would have been your perfect chance to run away from home. Ready to start your day, and by day I mean chores? What day is this anyway?
It's Christmas Eve.
I said, what day is it? You know, Monday, Tuesday. I didn't say answer in the form of a holiday.
Yeah, I don't think I can talk much about them, but there is a game that he did release that I think we can talk about. A small little mobile game that he made called Chipper and Sons Lumber Co. It came in 2 versions, a free version and a plus version, which you had to pay for. The only difference I could find about the two is that paying for it gives you bonus items at the beginning. It was put on Steam Greenlight, you know, back in the day when Steam actually gave a shit about what shows up on their platform. It was quickly booted off of Greenlight after some criticisms of how the game looked, mostly that the models looked like stiff animatronics. And eventually he did release this game for free on GameJolt. I'll put the link down in the description below. But be warned, this isn't a great game. Now, while I am going to be reviewing this game and make fun of it, Scott, if you somehow come across this video, don't take it personally. For a free mobile game made by presumably one guy, it's not that bad. I just think it's good enough to make fun of. The game starts with your beaver father giving you a talk. Well, little tyke, the day has come. No, not the beginning of summer or your coming of age, but me throwing you out on your furry ears. Wow, not even 30 seconds in and somehow I relate to this beaver too much. By the time I was your age, I was out building dams, cutting trees, and blowing up termite mounds. The war with the termites has scarred us all. Famine, disease, death. Oh yes, I remember the war. They took the smallest of us and gave them nothing but a flashlight and a pistol to go down the tunnels, and we called them tunnel rats. I did some dark things in that war, things I'm not proud of. No one was safe. We bombed the children's hospital once. I can still hear the screams. None of those things have actually happened, but it still sounds pretty awful, doesn't it? It was real to me. It might happen if a meteor were to hit, so never trust a termite, they might have a meteor. Okay, so Papa is definitely off his fucking meds. So the game starts with our father giving us some blueprints and a whole acre of land to the right of our cabin. So I guess he's not kicking us out. Must be nice. Go to the left and visit the other weirdos. Creatures of the forest. Okay, so he's racist as well. Wow, that is certainly a user interface. Now, do remember that this game was made for iPhones back in 2013, so this UI isn't really that terrible for that. But I'm playing this on PC, and this UI is terrible. For one, you can't use the arrow keys to move. You have to press the green left and right buttons down on the lower left corner. You also have these big buttons here on top that never go away. The bag, plans, and task, which will also blink and have an arrow pointing to it whenever you get a task. You can go right, like you said, and chop down some trees, but you can also do that to the left, so I don't know who owns that land. After you chop down a tree, you have to either replant them or build something. Usually you build objects that automate some things, because again, it's a mobile game. While the trees grow, you can just stand there and wait, or you can just stand there and wait. Let me explain. Tyke, the one you play as, has a green watering can that never runs out and is constantly spraying water around you, so you have to stand near one of the trees facing it, and it'll just grow a little bit faster. Unfortunately, I don't really know what more points on the tree actually mean. I just stood there waterboarding a tree for 10 minutes before I got bored to see what would happen. Once you get to a certain amount, the number just seems to stop growing, but it's never really clear on what that number is. It seems to be different every time. But by focusing on one tree, you have to neglect the other three that could also be there. And yeah, it can occasionally rain, which could help not only by growing the surrounding trees, but also help by taking out these demon trees? Papa, why did you not warn me about these things? Great job, Tyke. I knew you could do it. Sure, that watering pot makes you look a little daisy. What the fuck does that mean, dude? You gave me the fucking watering can. But that manly set of beaver teeth is more than makes up for it. Keep up the good work and I'll keep giving you more land. What about the demonic tree stumps, you imitation vanilla shitbag? I've set you up on a date tonight. Don't worry, you'll love her. Now off you go. Did my dad just pimp me out? I have to warn you, my last boyfriend said I was selfish. Okay, well, that got a bit of a chuckle out of me. God, I really hope that they don't repeat this too much. Okay, back to the demon stumps. They're technically the only enemies you face in the game. And I use the term enemies extremely loosely because they can't hurt you or even acknowledge your existence. But you just have to stand near them with your watering can that makes you look like a little daisy, and in like a second to maybe like 4 seconds, they quickly die. Besides collecting wood, you can also build stuff, which is the main and basically the only objective in this entire game. Besides like one quest we'll talk about in a bit. So at the beginning, you're going to start off with just lumber bots, who will periodically give you cut wood every like minute or so. It's very small and they only give you like one type of thing at a time depending on what you put down and how many of it you put down. And later on, you do get other stuff to build to get more different items periodically. Well, Dad sent us on a current quest to go out and explore. Let's meet these new people. Let's go! Yeah, that bridge will collapse a lot. This is around the time the game starts getting on your nerves. So on your journey, you have to talk to all these NPCs multiple times to get items like these 4 here. I was once ground to a powder and used as seasoning. See this scar? It's unrelated. Hey, take a look at this. Item get. They're all not really that interesting if I have to be honest. Sure, you might enjoy them at the beginning. I think for a simple mobile game, these are passable, maybe even good, but you're gonna find yourself just skipping these texts just to get to the item and move on. And this fucking bridge breaks all the fucking time, and it's never really clear when it's going to because it's completely random unless you just stand on it for more than a few seconds. Then you have to rebuild it to get across, and as far as I know, it doesn't really cost anything, but still, it gets very tiresome. Oh yeah, sure, giant termites. Yeah, why not? Well, our furry nemesis has created offspring. How dreadful. Why, yes, your father and I go way back. did you know that he once dressed like a giant termite and climbed our highest mound?
Oh my.
He dropped a bomb right down into the middle of it. Oh boy, there were some mothers crying that day. I was kidding! Ugh, geez, glad I got out of there. Well, let's see what's over. Oh. The plague of giant smelly rats is upon us. Oh wait, it's just a beaver. How I wish it was a plague. Trade with us. Well, after a wonderful greeting like that, how can I say no? Palm bark for palm grass. Well, I don't have any palm bark, so I'm just gonna have to say no, unfortunately. Is everyone in this world an asshole? So, what's going on here? Like, what's up with this giant bear, beaver, the giant robots, and... Oh shit, Pinocchio, are you okay? So this owl here, he's going to trade you wooden seagulls for old machine parts, which you're going to need for some of the last few items. You get seagulls from this pelican guy, or in presents by killing trees, and this thing wants 5 seagulls an item, which isn't really that bad. But he'll only sell you one thing at a time. Sure, you could get like multiples of that item if you have like, let's say 10, 15, etc. seagulls, but you have to know that going in. And even then, he might not be selling the thing you want. Or if you accidentally hit 1 instead of all, which are the only options in this for some reason, it'll boot you out of the menu, and then he stops selling you this stuff. So you have to keep walking back and forth, hoping that the timer for him resets, and you can call him again just so you can be selling something else you don't need. You can also use beaver tokens to get some power-ups, but they're alright. Farming for beaver coins isn't that efficient, so unless you really try, you'll only get like maybe the first 5 items. Next task, you gotta play all the minigames. So here's me complaining about the minigames portion of the video. Yeah, you know those Tiger Electronics that no one likes? Well, I'm glad you asked, because now there's 6 of them you have to play, and beat at least once for a quest. Except I think Frog's quest, because... well, watch. Nobody understands the Frog quest. Okay. None of them are worth it. Sure, they don't take too long. Some of them are actually kind of simple to beat. But besides just getting a power-up, which are all useless, you get green acorn and red acorn, which instantly plants all open spaces on the screen with either a red tree or a green tree. But you still have to grow them, and you just fall into the neglecting 3 to focus on 1 problem again. Then there's rain and super watering can. Okay, sure, they could, with the airiest of air quotes, could be useful, but not really. They both only last a few seconds, and honestly, I never felt that powered up when I used them. Then there's the go forward 3 hours power up. It doesn't really do that. Maybe on mobile it does, but on PC, the game doesn't really continue when you're offline. And really, that's it on terms of gameplay. You run around growing and chopping down trees to get wood, to give the Papa war crimes, to make into lumber, and to make into beaver bots that'll give you wood automatically, so which you can then turn into lumber to make more. All the while, you build other projects for everyone else, like the termite mounds and the stuff next to the termite mounds so that the termites have a healthy snack. While this happens, you go up in beaver ranks, which increases the amount of acres you can work on. Basically 4 more spots to build stuff, a new blueprint, or several, and Daddy-O forces us onto another date. People say I make really bad jokes, but I think I'm a hoot. Okay, I don't know about you, dude, but I thought that was kind of clever. I had a son once, but wait, aren't I your son, Papa? He became obsessed with the idea of recreating the land into a mechanical paradise. He crafted a wooden arm for himself, then a leg. Soon he was more machine than beaver.
It's more machine now than
beaver.
Twisted and evil.
Your mother would be so proud of you, son. And I know that she sees you and is watching you. Aw, isn't that sweet? And not just because I had her stuff and put in the corner. What? Now go out there and make her proud. I'll turn her to face the window. Son, I feel it's time to tell you what happened to your mother. Oh God, what horror are we about to witness? It was my fault, son. I ate too greedily. She had to make the pies larger and larger, deeper and deeper. It wasn't until I swallowed a spoonful of fur that I realized what had happened. She had fallen right in. Now, son, I like your mom's beaver, but not like that. Oh, come on. It's not any worse than what the guy actually said. I mean, finding a hair in your pie is one thing, but when you find a whole beaver in your pie, something is wrong.
Ooh. My.
The most tragic thing is that pie was delicious. It was a little gamey, but so delicious. I bombed those termites good after that. Okay, Matt Pat, how come you haven't made a game theory on this monster yet? 91 Fnaf videos and not one on the cannibal war criminal dad who technically started it all? This thing is more scary than any of the animatronics in Fnaf, let's be honest. Well, anyway, life goes on, son. I wish yours didn't. Did I mention you have a date tonight? It's time to carry on the family name, son. And Toyota feels like family to me. Given his track record, I'm expecting I have like a long-lost sister or something. Of course I'm a girl, and I kiss with my beak, so you'll have to get closer. Okay, what the actual hell is my dad's problem? I'm serious when I say more than half of this game consisted of me just standing around in the game while I did other things around the house in real life. God, it's been like 3 hours of nothing happening. Just something happen. Anything at all. Just please. What the? Do not try to understand what is happening. Done. You are transcending time and space, something no beaver has done before. I am the strange traveler. I have taken this form so that you can comprehend my existence. Although we will journey to what seems like only a few moments to you, many days will have passed where you come from. I will leave you now, furry one. Remember what you have seen. I will return when I pass through this galaxy again. Okay, what the actual fuck?
I'm a reasonable guy, but I've just experienced some very unreasonable things.
Welcome back, kiddo. What, no, where the fuck have you been? It's been days since anyone's seen you? I'm not even joking. Nothing happens. This Mokujin Silver Surfer motherfucker shows up, sends us to space for no fucking reason, talks about some nonsense, and then sends us back with nothing changed or accomplished or anything. Sure, he says many days will pass, but there's no sense of that. Not like it would fucking matter because the amount of one item you have is capped at 99. Which is fine in the sense that the more expensive items won't cost more than 99, but unless you got like a sweatshop of these robot fuckers, it's going to 1, take a while, and 2, either be full or out. Any excess just gets dumped on the floor and forgotten about, I guess. And it's never clear on how you get these items, unless you look up the wiki, which, whoopsie-doo, I didn't fucking know about that until I beat this game. These fucking jellyfish, man. Let me tell you about these fucking jellyfishes. I had no idea how to get them. I spent like an hour running around and letting myself get severe brain damage by falling off this bridge a bajillion times looking for it. Meanwhile, the same music just plays over and over again on repeat, and it starts to get to you after 5 minutes, and as far as I know, there's only one thing that gives you jellyfishes. This fucking thing. It'll either give you a jellyfish or a boot. And when you collect the present that's sitting there, you gotta walk away for a few screens, either left or right, because it won't spawn if you're on the same screen, and I guess there's like a distance thing, maybe. Also, you can make this fucking sound of the ocean bullshit item for your dad, who couldn't be bothered to notice you were gone for a fucking week, just so that the sound of 2 whales fucking can constantly be playing. Let's just move on to the end of the game. So the last task your father gives you is to build a father tree, basically the end boss of this game. Like most of the end game stuff, father tree takes a lot of things to make. The reason you have to build it is because your dad, the sane motherfucker that he is, made him years ago and it almost destroyed everything. Or something, I don't really know. Why the fuck did you bother giving this to your kid? But here's the thing that they never tell you. You can't really get rid of it. Yeah, they mention that you can't destroy it and you're gonna have to figure out a way to do it, but they never fucking hint at what you actually need to do to destroy it. You're supposed to know beforehand to finish the termite questline so that when you summon Father Tree, you can quickly run back and— oh no, not you again, you fool, you killed us all! Finishing the termite questline will unlock the blueprints, even though I already had it, but whatever. Oh, and you better hope you have everything you need to build it, because they're a bitch and a half to get if you don't. And he's going to drop tiny father seeds that'll destroy all of your items and spawn more father trees. Isn't that fun, kids? How could this have not gotten the green light? Anyway, you plant the robot termites, they destroy the tree, and everyone's okay. Dad never has to answer for his crimes against the world, and we finally get the girl. Ka-fucking-yay. But that's not all. Now that you beat the end boss, you can go back and start collecting all the things you missed at 100%. Yeah, I'm done here. I could go for 100%, but I don't really want to. But there is a speedrunning community for this somehow. Maybe someday I'll go back and I'll get the speedrun for it. I already submitted my hot date run. I tried it for several hours to get at least the top 3. How the hell do you guys do this on a regular basis? I was losing my goddamn mind at the end. So, here, about 25 seconds. I'm in the top 10 at least, baby. But you know what? I'm going to create my own run for this game right now. I don't know how to do that officially, so I'm just going to do it here. I call it the Stop Giving a Shit run. What you do is you start a new game and then you quit as fast as possible. Here is my official submission. Again, if this sounds like I'm being too mean to the game or to Scott, the guy who created this game, I'm not really trying to be. For a free mobile game that's extremely simple, it's okay. Yeah, there were a ton of things I didn't really like, to be honest. The gameplay, or lack thereof, was arduous, and I can't really recommend this game to anyone, on account that I'm afraid that they're going to cut my prize horse's head off and put it in bed with me. But if I'm going to be honest, it's not the worst. Mostly because it's free. If you actually had to pay for this game, I would have been a lot harsher to it. If you want to play it, go right ahead. The characters, while yeah, I agree, are stiff and animatronic-like, some of them are kinda funny and the setting is pretty unique. And if Scott were to go back to this today, I could see him either remaking this or creating a whole new game set in the universe, and it turning out pretty good. But until that day arrives, let's see what game he made after this. No, boss, I understand. But if the budget can't guarantee us power all night, why the hell do we have a fan constantly running and electrical doors? Wouldn't normal doors be good enough? I'll call you back.
Good job, Superstar! You got to the end of the video! Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel so that you can see all the new videos when they come out. And follow this guy on Twitter, X. In case that place hasn't burnt down to the ground yet. He also started trying out some animations, so expect to see that in the future. Quickly, Superstar, click the button! Superstar, my battery is running low! Quickly, press the button, I don't know how much time I can...